The Awakening the Stars burned red above Colony 7. Captain Tom Reed watched from the command deck as another human settlement died. Plasma fire rained from the sky. The Krell warships hung in orbit like metal vultures, their weapons tearing through defensive shields as if they were paper. "Sir, we have to go. Now." Lieutenant James gripped his console, his knuckles white. Tom nodded slowly. This was the 5th colony lost in 2 weeks. The Krell Empire had come without warning, without demands, without mercy. They simply attacked. And humanity was losing. Set course for Mars Station. Send the evacuation signal to all remaining colonies. The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what that meant. Humanity was retreating to its birthplace, to Earth, to die with their homeworld. The ship jumped to light speed. Stars stretched into lines. Tom closed his eyes and tried not to think about the families left behind. 3 days later, they arrived at Mars. The red planet hung in space, quiet and ancient. Tom had always loved Mars. His grandfather had worked the mining colonies here before the Krell came. Captain, the sensor officer, a young woman named Lisa, looked up from her screen. "I'm getting strange readings from the surface. Something big. Something metal. Krell advanced scouts?" "No, sir. These signatures are coming from underground. Deep underground. And they're old. Really old." Tom leaned forward. "How old?" "Scanning now. Sir, the dating algorithm says 10,000 years. That's impossible." But it wasn't impossible. Tom had heard the stories. Every human child heard them. Tales of an ancient time when humanity ruled the stars. Most people thought they were just myths. Stories to make children feel brave. "Get me Dr. Emma Cross. Now." Dr. Emma Cross arrived within the hour. She was the lead archaeologist for the Mars colonies, a small woman with sharp eyes and quick hands. She studied the data for 10 minutes without speaking. "Captain Reed," she finally said, "we need to go down there. The Krell fleet will be here in 2 days. We should be evacuating." "And go where?" Emma looked at him directly. "They've taken everything else. If there's something down there, something from the old time, maybe it can help us." Tom thought about his options. He thought about the burning colonies. He thought about his grandfather's stories. Get a team ready. We go in 1 hour. The descent took them through ancient rock and frozen ice. The drilling equipment screamed as it cut through layers of Martian history. Finally, they broke through into open space. Tom stepped out into darkness. His helmet light cut through the dust. And Emma gasped. They stood in a hangar. But not a normal hangar. This space was huge. It stretched away in all directions, disappearing into shadow. And it was filled with machines. Giants, metal titans that rose 50 meters high. Humanoid in shape, but covered in angular armor. Strange symbols covered their surfaces, glowing faintly in the light. Dozens of them stood in perfect rows, silent and still, covered in 10,000 years of dust. "My God," James whispered. "They're real. The old ones. They're real." Emma moved forward like a woman in a dream. She reached out and touched the nearest Titan's foot. Her hand came away dusty, but trembling. "There's writing here," she said. "Ancient human script. I can almost read it." She pulled out her scanner and began translating. The words appeared on everyone's helmet display. "To our children, 10,000 years hence. We built these guardians in our darkest hour. We fought the devourers and won, but our civilization fell. These machines sleep now, waiting for the day when our descendants need protection. When that day comes, they will wake. They will fight. They will remember us. For the day when our children need us again." Tom felt cold. Emma stepped back. "Why?" She never finished. Her hand had brushed against a control panel. Ancient systems sparked to life. Lights flickered on throughout the massive hangar. One by one, the Titans began to glow. The nearest machine's eyes lit up. First blue, then red, then burning gold. A voice filled the hangar, deep, ancient, speaking in old human language that the translators barely understood. Threat detected. Analysis complete. Descendants identified. Protection protocols active. More Titans woke. 100 eyes blazed in the darkness. 100 ancient warriors stirred after 10 millennia of sleep. Tan's communicator crackled. Captain, Krell fleet just entered Mars orbit. They're preparing to fire. The first Titan stepped forward. Dust fell from its armor like snow. It looked down at Tom and his team with eyes that remembered an age of wonders and horrors. "We are awake," it said. "We remember our purpose." Then it turned toward the surface, toward the stars, toward the enemy. "We will protect our children." Asterisk war renewed. The ground shook as the first Titan climbed toward the surface. Tom and his team ran behind it, trying to keep up. The ancient machine moved through solid rock like water, its body carving a path upward. Behind them, more Titans followed. An army rising from the grave. They burst onto the Martian surface just as the Krell fleet opened fire. Green plasma bolts screamed down from orbit, each one powerful enough to destroy a city. The humans braced for death. The lead Titan raised one massive arm. A shield of golden light erupted around it, spreading outward like a dome. The plasma fire hit the shield and simply disappeared, absorbed into nothing. Tom stared. Human shields could barely stop small arms' fire. This was impossible. The Titan's other arm lifted. A weapon appeared, glowing with blue energy. It fired once. A beam of pure light shot into space, crossed 1,000 kilometers in a heartbeat, and struck a Krell warship. Not the alien ship exploded. Just gone. Removed from existence. "Captain," Lisa's voice shook over the radio. "What are those things?" "Our ancestors," Emma whispered. "Our protectors." More Titans emerged. They spread across the Martian surface, their shields overlapping into a wall of light. The Krell fired everything. Nuclear missiles, kinetic weapons, experimental disruptors. Nothing touched the Titan's dot. Then the ancient machines fired back. The space battle lasted 12 minutes. When it ended, 40 Krell warships floated as debris. The remaining ships fled into deep space. Not a single Titan had fallen. Tom watched from the observation deck of Mars Station. His hands shook. The Krell had seemed unstoppable. Now they ran like scared children. The lead Titan turned and looked up at the station. Its golden eyes found Tom through the window. When it spoke, the voice came through. Every speaker on the station. "Descendants, we. Our first sentinel, we. And our brothers have waited long. The enemy threatens you. We will not allow this." Tom grabbed the communication panel. "First Sentinel, thank you. But who are you? What are you?" "We are the last warriors of old Earth. We are your ancestors, preserved in metal. We remember the Great War. We remember our families. We remember why we chose to sleep." Emma worked frantically at her station, pulling up data from the underground facility. Files appeared on the screens. Ancient records. History lost for 10,000 years. "Tom, look at this," she said. "The old civilization. It wasn't a myth. Humanity controlled half the galaxy. We had 1,000 colony worlds. Advanced technology beyond our imagination. What happened? Something called the Devourers, world killers. They came from dark space and consumed everything. Humanity fought them for 300 years. We won, but... She paused, reading. The cost was total. Our cities burned. Our technology failed. Population dropped from billions to millions. Civilization collapsed. James looked at the data. And the Titans? The last act of the old empire. They took their greatest warriors, people who volunteered, and preserved them. Put their minds into these machines. Made them guardians. Then put them to sleep with one command. Wake if humanity ever faces extinction again. Tom felt something tight in his chest. These machines weren't just tools. They were people. Ancient humans who gave up death itself to protect children they would never meet. First Sentinel, Tom said slowly. You've been asleep for 10,000 years. Why wake now? Your species approaches terminal decline. Multiple colonies destroyed. Population dropping. Enemy force overwhelming. Extinction. Parameters met. We wake. We fight. This is our purpose. Over the next week, more Titan facilities were found. One beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean. Another under Europa's ice. A third on Venus, buried in volcanic rock. Everywhere humanity had lived in the ancient past, the Titans had been hidden, waiting. 200 guardians woke. An army from a lost age, but in the Krell Empire, Commander Vex studied the battle recordings. He watched the Titans fight. He analyzed their power signatures. And he smiled. They're running on ancient power cores, he told his officers. Cores that have been dormant for 10,000 years. Each battle drains them. Each fight makes them weaker. How long? His second asked, with their current power consumption? Maybe 10 more battles. Maybe 20. Then the cores will die, and the machines will die with them. Vex opened a communication channel. Send word to the home fleet. Bring everything. 1,000 warships. We'll hit them hard and fast. We'll make them fight until their power runs out. Then humanity dies, and we claim their worlds. On Earth, First Sentinel stood before the Human Defense Council. Tom and Emma watched as the ancient warrior explained the situation. Our cores are failing, First Sentinel said. We have enough power for one last great battle, perhaps 2. Then we will sleep forever. How long? Tom asked. The enemy brings their main fleet. Our sensors detect one. 1,000 warships. They will arrive in 4 days. We will fight them. We will win or we will fall, but we will protect. You until our last moment. Emma looked at the data scrolling across her screen. Power core specifications. Energy decay rates. Estimated combat duration. What if we could recharge you? She asked suddenly. What if we could give you more power? First Sentinel turned its massive head toward her. For a moment, something like hope flickered in those ancient eyes. The knowledge was lost. When civilization fell, the secrets died. But we have new technology, Emma said. Modern fusion reactors. New power systems. Maybe we can adapt them. Maybe we can save you. Tom stood. How long do we have? 4 days until the Krell arrive. Then we have 4 days to figure it out. Tom looked up at First Sentinel. You didn't give up on us 10,000 years ago. We won't give up on you now. The Titan nodded slowly. Outside, the other Guardians took positions around Earth. The final battle was coming, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. Asterisk. Legacy of Titans, the Krell fleet arrived like a storm of metal and fire. 1,000 warships dropped from hyperspace above Earth. They filled the sky, blocking out the stars. It was the largest military force ever assembled by the Krell Empire. Commander Vex sat on his command throne and smiled. Begin the attack. Make them use every bit of power they have. The Titans rose to meet them. 200 ancient guardians formed a shield wall around Earth. Their golden barriers lit up the darkness. The battle began. Plasma fire rained down like a hurricane. The Titans fired back, their weapons cutting through Krell ships. Explosions lit up space. Ships died by the dozens. But there were always more. Tom watched from Earth's Defense Command Center. He could see the power readings from the Titans. Every shot they fired drained their cores. Every shield impact took more energy. First Sentinel is down to 40% power, Lisa reported. The others are worse. Some are below 30. Emma worked at her station, surrounded by human engineers. They had been working for 4 days straight. No sleep, barely any food, trying to solve a problem that destroyed a civilization. The ancient power cores use quantum binding, she said, her voice hoarse. But our fusion reactors produce plasma energy. They're completely different systems. Can we bridge them? Asked an engineer named David. I don't know. Maybe. The math says yes, but ... Emma looked at her calculations. We'd need to completely rebuild the connection interface. And we'd need to do it in the middle of a battle. Above them, the battle raged. A Titan named Stone Guardian fell, its power core finally dying. The ancient machine went dark and drifted in space, dead after 10,000 years of waiting. First Sentinel is at 20%, Lisa said quietly. Tom made a decision. Emma, what do you need? Access to a Titan. A living one. And a ship that can carry a mobile reactor. You'll have it. Tom grabbed his helmet. I'm going with you. They launched in a heavy transport, a fusion reactor strapped to its cargo bay. James piloted while Tom and Emma prepared the equipment. Around them, Titans and Krell ships fought and died. First Sentinel, we're coming to you, Tom called over the radio. Negative. Too dangerous. My core is at 15%. I will fight until I fall. Not today, Emma said. Today we save you. Like you saved us. They reached First Sentinel as his power dropped to 10%. His shields flickered. His movements slowed. A Krell destroyer moved in for the kill. Tom opened the cargo bay. Emma, do it now. She activated the interface device. It was crude, built in 4 days by desperate humans. It might not work. It might explode. But it was all they had. The device locked onto First Sentinel's power core. Emma triggered the fusion reactor. Energy poured through the connection. For a moment, nothing happened. Then First Sentinel blazed with light. New power flooded his systems. His shields exploded outward, stronger than before. His weapons charged full capacity. Power restored, the Titan said, and there was wonder in his ancient voice. Systems at maximum. This is... Thank you. Emma laughed, almost crying. It works. Send the specifications to all units. We can save them all. Across the battlefield, human ships raced to the other Titans. Mobile reactors connected. One by one, the ancient guardians surged with new life. Power cores that had been dying for 10,000 years suddenly burned bright again. A Krell advance stopped. Then it broke. Vex stared at his screens in disbelief. Impossible. They were dying. How are they? Commander, the Titans are at full power. They're counterattacking. The recharged guardians smashed through the Krell fleet like a hammer. Ships exploded. Formations scattered. The carefully planned battle became a rout. All ships fall back. Vex ordered. But it was too late. First Sentinel crashed through 3 Krell cruisers and landed on Vex's command ship. The Titan's fist punched through the hull. It grabbed the bridge section and tore it away from the rest of the ship. Tom and James followed in their transport. They boarded through the breach. Krell soldiers fired at them, but First Sentinel's shield protected them. They reached the command deck. Vex stood before them, his alien face twisted in rage. He reached for a control panel. If I die, everyone dies. This ship has a singularity bomb. I'll collapse this entire system. First Sentinel moved faster than something so large should move. His hand closed around Vex. The other hand grabbed the singularity device. Tom, Emma, James, go, now. Tom shouted. We can disable it together. Nitrogen monoxide time. The device is armed. I can contain the blast, but you must leave. Emma grabbed Tom's arm. He's right. We have to go. They ran. Behind them, First Sentinel held the singularity device close to his chest. His shields wrapped around it, layer after layer, containing the reaction. The bomb exploded. The blast turned the Krell command ship into atoms. But First Sentinel's shields held. The Titan absorbed the explosion, letting it tear him apart from the inside rather than let it touch his descendants. When the light faded, First Sentinel was gone. The remaining Krell ships fled into deep space. The battle was over. Humanity had won, but the victory felt hollow. Tom stood at the memorial 3 days later. They had built it in the Mars facility where the Titans first woke. A statue of First Sentinel, carved from Martian stone, stood in the center of the ancient hangar. Footsteps echoed behind him. Tom turned and saw a Titan approaching. It was younger than First Sentinel, one of the last to wake. Its armor was silver where First Sentinel's had been gold. I am called Windrunner, the Titan said. Its voice was softer than First Sentinel's, more human. I knew him. 10,000 years ago. He was my teacher, my friend. I'm sorry we couldn't save him, Tom said. You gave him something better than survival, Windrunner replied. You gave him purpose fulfilled. He died protecting his children. For a warrior, there is no greater honor. Will you stay? Tom asked. Will you and the others remain with us? Windrunner looked up at the stars visible through the hangar opening. We were built to protect. That purpose does not end. We are humanity's shield. We will never leave. Not for another 10,000 years. Not for forever. Around Earth, the surviving Titans took up positions. 173 ancient guardians, now powered by modern human technology. The old and new united. Emma found more ancient facilities across the galaxy. On every world humanity had once called home, the ancestors had left gifts. Technology, knowledge, hope. The Krell Empire never returned. The story of the Titans spread across the galaxy. Other alien races heard and decided humanity was not worth the risk. Tom visited the memorial every year. He would stand before First Sentinel's statue and remember. Remember the ancient warrior who woke after 10,000 years of sleep, who fought for children he had never met, who gave everything so humanity could live. And every year, Windrunner would stand beside him, silent, eternal, watching over the descendants of the people who had built him so long ago. Humanity had reclaimed its legacy, and the Titans stood guard, as they always would, forever. The end.